Hello, folks. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, when or wherever you may be. Now, the first thing is congratulations to Hungary and thank you, Hungary, from a fellow European. Okay, thank you very much for choosing to free yourselves from an American and Russian puppet. Thank you for choosing to be with us, to be with Europe, and to help us. We need you. Hungary is a very important part of the European Union, and it's about damn time that you take your place with us. I hope that the funds that have been held up, thank you very much, Mr. Orban, for Hungary to be as quickly as possible freed, and that you can come back, man. We need you. Hungary is a very important part of the European Union. I will repeat this. Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to try to be as clear as possible about my position. We are going to watch 3 videos. They are available in Euronews. I will drop the links in this video. Also, I will tell this again, this video is not monetized, okay? So I won't be getting any money from other people's creations. And we are going to watch the videos, and then I'm going to give you my opinion. And again, I'm going to try to make this Newswatch as quick and clear as possible. Okay? I'll try not to rant too much. So, without further ado, let's watch the first video.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fight is over and we have a winner in the Hungarian elections. Seems like now we can all go home. Or can we? You see, elections are always a mirror of societies. And the Hungarian vote, with its plot twists, Russian scandals, MAGA connections and a flood of AI deepfakes, provides us with the lens through which we can see much deeper into the continent's future. And to see that, we must go back to the start. So, who is Peter Magyar and what does his election really mean for Hungary and Europe? Meet Peter, the ultimate insider turned whistleblower. And from the very start, this lawyer and former diplomat was a product of Hungary's conservative elite. Married for over a decade to Orbán's former justice minister, he had a front row seat to the government's inner workings. But when a child abuse pardon scandal forced her resignation in 2024, Magyar used this crisis to defect and expose the regime. And learning from previous opposition leaders' electoral failures, he realized uniting with the old, fragmented opposition was a dead end. So instead, he ruthlessly bypassed them, absorbing frustrated voters to build his TISA movement, entirely from scratch. And he proved his electoral viability during the last European Parliament elections, capturing nearly 30% of the votes, and securing a crucial seat as an MEP for himself. And in yesterday's elections, Magyar campaigned on a strict promise of anti-corruption, vowing to dismantle state insider networks, rebuild public services, and hold the ruling elite accountable. Yet, Magyar completely rejects the liberal label, and by wrapping himself in the national flag and adapting patriotic rhetoric, he successfully captured rural conservative voters, feeling abandoned by economic failures. Magyar also maintained an iron grip on his party. To avoid previous campaigns' gaffes, he centralized all messaging around himself, demanding total discipline. And in Brussels, Europe should expect an immediate pivot back to the Western mainstream, as Magyar aims to repair broken institutional trust with the EU and NATO. However, defeating Orbán does not mean a return to a polite centrist consensus, no. To dismantle this political machine and win, Magyar had to adapt its harshness. And with his top-down party management, he might represent a cold-blooded new era for a pro-European right.
Right. Here you go. I just presented to you Peter Magyar, the new Hungarian Prime Minister. Well, let's start with the obvious. As you can see, this person is not a left-winger. He is not a liberal. Nothing of the sort. He comes from the conservative group, but he's a different type of right wing. And I know this type of right wing, okay? Because I was raised in a family that was Catholic, that participated in church functions, in all of that, but that also, even though my parents were business owners, they were business workers because they worked in their business. Okay, we were not rich, not at all. Okay, the last time this family was rich was when my grandfather's father lost the fortune of the family and his title as a count in a card game. Epic stories, my friends. I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, so not at all. We are not rich. We are not pompous. We are, however, educated, which is something very important. And I'm not talking about educated with degrees and all of that, even though some people in my family, of course, have degrees. Okay, I didn't finish mine. The money ran out and I had to go to work for different reasons, including family reasons. Okay, but we are all educated and we are all people that are politically active in the sense that we don't like to be heard like sheep, if you know what I mean. So I understand the world where Peter comes from, because I come from a similar world. I come from a world where you have this Christian democracy. It's the best way I can explain it to you, but it's nothing like you have, for example, in the United States, with all of those lunatics that laid their hands on Trump and said he was the savior, whatever shit they try to mix in. No, it's a sense of having a Christian ethic when you are talking about politics, meaning things as basic as these ones: to not steal, to not assassinate, of course, to not be corrupt, to always try to be truthful, to not lie. These are the principles of this type of right wing. Right wing. We have to call it right wing because it's not left wing; it's right wing. Conservatism that still exists here, still is a force to be reckoned with, but that does not have the same connotation as it has in other places. These are the type of people that they don't want to bash gay people or transgender people and blame them for the problems of the country, like we see unfortunately in the United Kingdom with Reform and other parties. These are not those types of people. Okay, these are this is a type of way of seeing things that, as you can see, has rubbed off into me. And as you can see, I'm a very chilled person. Okay, I don't, gay people don't bother me at all. I really could not care less. I think everyone has the right to love whoever you love, as long as you respect it. As long as you respect other people too. Okay. I think the people that are transgender, that is a medical issue, and that the only people that have to make it their business is the transgender people themselves and their doctors. Okay, I don't think the state has nothing to do with it. The state has nothing to meddle with it. Okay, if you want to decide, who can compete in, I don't know, in sporting events or whatever, if a transgender woman can compete with other women in sports or whatever, or transgender man, whatever, the only people that have to decide that are the medics. medicine, okay, science. I'm a staunch defender of science, of logic, of applying logic into daily life. Okay, this is what I think that is the path for the future. The path for the future is not to channel continuous emotion into things. The path to the future is to channel logic into things and to try to make decisions that are correct. This does not mean a lack of empathy, but this means logic. So I understand, and I hope that I'm not mistaken with this guy. I understand what he's trying to say and do. This way of centralizing decision, speeches, you cannot look at this because of what he is saying and what he is doing, which is even more important. You cannot understand this as someone funneling power into himself. I saw this happening here too in the past, and it didn't went well because it was a different way of seeing things. It's not channeling power. It's channeling, more than anything else, responsibility, accountability, to say, this is my responsibility. I am responsible. And this is something that Hungary needed, because you had a leader, Mr. Orban, that he simply said it's the blame, it's the EU's blame, it's Brussels' blame, and then he used that to undermine the way people in Hungary saw things. But a lie can only take you so far. It comes to a point where lies are not enough for you to justify your actions. This is why I hate, and I will say this word, I hate liars. Okay? So, just a minor interruption. I hate liars because lies are not good for anyone. Give me a harsh truth instead of giving me lies. Because it doesn't lead to anything. Okay? It only leads to confusion. It only leads to deception. It only leads to people to be hurt. Even if you're trying to give a little white lie and say, there, everything will be all right. I never liked it, okay? And I never got it from my parents. My father were, my father and my mother, okay, when we were facing a hard situation, a decision, even the death of a loved one, all of that, they didn't golden the pill. They explained things to me, which is very important because you have to reason things. This is why we are humans, okay? This is why we are sentient. We have to reason things. And what I like the most about this guy is that he is reasoning things. He's not promising the Hungarians the sun and the moon, okay? He is telling them, I have to do this. It's going to take a long time. Give me a supermajority. They gave them a supermajority. And now he will be able to do exactly what he needs to do. And I will be watching, and you bet your sweet ass that I will be the first to criticize him if I see that he's doing the same thing that the other idiot did. Now, let's watch another video.
Confident in the constitutional parliamentary majority,
Sorry,
Peter
guys.
Magyar, leader of the Tisza party,
A minor technical error. Sorry. Let's watch the video.
Confident in the constitutional parliamentary majority, Peter Magyar, leader of the Tisza party, delivered his victory speech in Budapest, emphasizing that no other party in democratic Hungarian history has ever received such a high level of trust from the people. Our victory could be seen not from the moon, but from every Hungarian window, said Magyar, referencing outgoing Prime Minister Viktor Orbán's victory speech in 2022, when he said his mandate margin was so big, it could be seen from the moon.
Történelmi felhatalmazást adtatok a kormányzásra. felhatalmazást adtatok arra, hogy építsünk egy működő és emberséges hazát mindannyiunknak, minden magyar embernek.
In his speech, Magyar promised to dismantle the Orbán regime and called for the resignation of state leaders appointed by Fidesz, whom he called puppets. In a bid to reassure Fidesz voters, the incoming prime minister said that he would work towards national reconciliation and be a ruler for all.
Okay. Two things. It's common for people to use those touches, okay? So Americans, please don't. Okay, it's not a Nazi parade. Okay, don't get your little hearts scared because of that. Okay, that is very normal for people to do. You know, it's the Catholic tradition of the candles and the processions and all of that. Europeans. I like to be a European too. Now, this message that he is saying in this moment when he is making this speech, it has two tiers. It's telling the people that were working for Oran in this little corrupt organization that if they don't want to be prosecuted, if they want to live peacefully, no one will bother them. Because, you know, some people would say, oh, you should go after them, and do this and do that. No, that is the wrong approach. In a democracy, you have to tolerate some things, okay? And I'm sorry to say this, but it's one of those things in the democracy that you have to tolerate. You have to tolerate that sometimes it's better to just forgive and forget. But not in the sense that you forgive, that you forget what that person did, but you just let him fade away into the background. And this is exactly what he is telling here. He's giving a message and telling the people that are on the TVs and on the media and on the government key places that, look, in courts and things like that, look, just move away, okay? Just go and do something else, okay? Get your severance pay and leave us alone, and we will not be forced to remove you from office. This is exactly what this man is telling you. Then, this is the first tier. It's the hammer. And now you have the towel to clean up the shit, to clean up things. He's also giving a message of reconciliation, which is very important in democracy. It's a message that, for example, a president, when the president is elected here, he says, all presidents say this, I am the president of all Portuguese. Meaning, from that moment on, that person is no longer a president that was elected with the support of party A, B, or C. That person is a president for everyone. Because the type of position that the president, in this case here in Portugal, is going to occupy, it's the supreme magistrate of the state. Meaning, this is like the referee in a game. Okay? He calls the shots in keeping things nice and legal. And if there is a crisis, if there is a situation, like for example the flooding, I have told you before, I don't like this guy that much, but I don't have to like him. I just have to hold him accountable to his actions, and that make sure that he does his job as a citizen. He went into the places that were recently struck by flooding around here in Portugal. He went to talk with the local municipality leaders, with the people, show that he was present, and then he sent the messages that whatever messages that he had to send to the government. He spoke with the government to see what was being done. So he did his job, which is precisely that. Pardon. It's to ensure people that the president is keeping tabs on the prime minister Just like the Prime Minister is keeping tabs on his government, just like the Parliament is keeping tabs on the Prime Minister, and just like the Prime Minister is keeping tabs on the Parliament, and you have the courts keeping tabs on all of them. And this is how a democracy works. A democracy works in having more than one eye looking at the goal. Okay, because when you just have all of the power held in a single person, which was what Orban was trying to do, just like Putin did in Russia, and just like Trump is doing in the United States, it's never good for anyone. Okay, it's better to have a democracy than to not have a democracy. Even China, which is an authoritarian regime, has their weird ways of keeping tabs on everyone. If you think Xi is a supreme leader that doesn't have to keep tabs, that doesn't get anyone to keep tabs on him, you are sadly mistaken. Okay, and you have no idea how it works. He has a lot of power, indeed, but does not have absolute power. Okay, but China is a different situation, and it's a video that I will want to do, and that I've been studying and thinking of doing, but that is very hard to do due to the nature of the Chinese state itself. But that's a subject for another video. Let's continue with this one now, folks. Let's just watch one more video, and this is the reaction of the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. Okay, and also just look at how much money has been held in the EU of funds for Hungary because of the corruption and incompetence of Mr. Orban. If you are an American, $1 is about the same as €1. Okay, the difference is meaningless at this stage. Okay, now let's watch.
President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, says she wants to make swift and overdue progress in restoring ties between Brussels and Budapest. Her comments came a day after Peter Magyar secured a victory in the Hungarian election and put an end to Viktor Orban's 16 years of uninterrupted power. Magyar and his TISA party are set to win a supermajority, which he would need to undo the far-reaching reforms enacted by Viktor Orban in his self-styled project of illiberal democracy.
The people of Hungary have spoken and they have reclaimed their European path. It is a victory for fundamental freedoms. So with this result, our union is stronger, our union is more united. It was an exceptional evening yesterday. Of course, we will start working with the government as soon as possible.
Contacts between Brussels and Budapest are expected to begin immediately once Magyar formally takes office around mid-May. The European Commission is currently withholding roughly €17 billion in cohesion and COVID recovery funds due to an array of legal challenges with Budapest on the rule of law, judicial independence, academic freedom, asylum law, and LGBTQ+ rights. Separately, Budapest is waiting for the Commission's green light for its €16 billion defence plan under SAFE, a loan-backed programme. For Magyar, the release of EU money is a top priority. The incoming Prime Minister believes the supermajority will help him pass the reforms needed and meet the criteria that the Commission has established as a precondition for unfreezing.
Did you see that? Hungary still has funds that are suspended because of the incompetence of Mr. Orban in making the necessary reforms to align with the rest of the countries of Europe. And I know that, for example, if you are an American and you are watching this, you will think, but you will go into the same type of speech that Mr. Vance was trying to spill out around here and say, see, this is Brussels. They are commanding Hungary that you have to do this and you have to do that, and this is a fascist state, and this and this and that. Well, my friends, if you think this, number one, you have no idea how the European Union functions. Number two, you do not know the contents of the treaties and the agreements that Hungary signed to be a part of the European Union. And number three, you are a political illiterate. Okay? When Hungary entered in the EU, they signed the predetermined set of rules that Portugal also signed, that Spain, that France, that Germany, that everyone agreed upon. And every law and every regulation and every position that is taken in the EU, it's always taken. And when it comes for example, fundamental things like giving the funds to Ukraine, the 90 billions that are waiting to be given to Ukraine, thanks you to Mr. Orban that has been holding up that money that we were going to give to Ukraine. Okay, those decisions you have to take it unanimously, meaning all the European countries have to agree upon them. If we are talking about simple things, that you have a simple majority, in which a majority of countries go and watch some videos that are in the European Parliament, in the European Commission's channels, or go directly to the EU. You can just put in your search engine how does the EU work, how are decisions taken in the EU, and you will find the panoply of information that is easily accessible, because here everything is online. You can access anything. Okay, I can access the EU Parliament right now, the institutions, through the communication and all of that. I can access it. I can see who are the Portuguese deputies that are there. I can see which is the deputy MP, as the British say, that represents my area. All of that. Okay. Now, let's continue to the sun of the video. Peter wants to completely make these reforms, these needed reforms that are needed for more than one reason. They are needed so that Hungary can quickly catch up with the rest of the EU countries. It's needed because Hungary really needs these funds. Hungary also needs those, I think, 60 billions for the safe mechanism, which is the rearming mechanism that is right now being used by the rest of the European nations to rearm, to build drones, to do all that we need to do to make ourselves more independent from the orange ogre across the Atlantic. Okay, and all of that. And it's fundamental right now in this moment, in this critical moment, that he moves quickly about it. I'm sorry to say this. As I said in this video, I'm going to keep tabs on this because it really interests me. But you want to know what? I like this guy. I like this guy since the first time that I saw him, and it was not now. It was in the previous elections for the European Parliament that I saw him, and I thought to myself, man, this guy. Because you want to know what? As I said in this video, he reminds me a lot of the type of upbringing that I had. You know, I was not raised in a left-wing family, even though I do have left-wing family members. You know, I have revolutionists in my family. Okay, I have people that had their lives completely screwed up because they were fighting for freedom. I have communists in my family. Yes, I do, and I'm proud of them because they were true communists. Because you know there is a saying here in Portugal, to be a communist and not a commodist. This is a word in Portuguese, comodista. That means someone that uses something for their own profit. Meaning these are people these were not false communists. These were people that truly believed in a way of life in which everyone would be provided for. To be honest, okay, I have minors in my family. Okay, I have all of that, and most of all, I have this sense of justice and freedom, meaning I don't like I don't like to stifle the opinions of others. And this man, I know people are going to talk about him and say this and that just because he's right wing. He's still right wing and this and that. Yes, he is. Okay, but people have to stop this. And now I'm going to tell you something that other YouTubers and even news agencies might not tell you. And this is it. Mr. Trump fears people like Peter. Just like he fears people like Ursula von der Leyen and Macron. You want to know why he fears them? Because these are people, at least let's talk just about Peter right now. This is a person that is right wing, but that is not a fascist, that is not an authoritarian. These are people that are going to work to make Europe stronger and to create a type of Europe that is going to be the Europe of the future. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's going to happen given the state of the world, given how things are evolving. You are going to need, sometimes you need the hardliners to keep things in balance and to go forward. And you are going to need these right-wing politics to counter the sometimes too lax leftist politics. And the fault is of the leftists. Okay, I have spoken this with friends, and they have agreed with me. Many of the politics that were taken in the past, for example, here in Portugal, I will tell you the party that was in government for many years, the Socialists, António Costa, in his first term, I'm going to tell you this, the man was a complete machine. He did countless good things for this country. Okay, after the scandal of that prime minister, the Socrates, that is still on trial, after all of that shit, this man did a great job. And before that, you also had a social democrat government that also made a lot of shit during the times of the economic crisis in the 2010s or something like that. Okay, you remember that? I remember. Excellent times, right, guys? Yes, very good shit. And then in this last term, I have to tell you this: he was only doing shit. He was keeping some things afloat, but he was not doing well. And then with the entire crisis in his cabinet that forced him to resign, now going into the European Union, look, that does not decrease his competence. Also, I will have to tell you, he was completely acquitted of any problem, of any wrongdoing. Okay, let this be clear, and also let it be clear that I like António Costa. I think he's an honest person at heart. I think he tries to be as competent as he can. I think that when he sets his mind into something, it's the best person that you can have by your side. But I didn't like that first attitude of him, okay? I didn't like that he tolerated so many things. He was too tolerant. And when it comes to this point, and this is why the parties in the right wing are now in power here. But I will repeat this again for anyone that is listening to me: there is no bloody extreme right in Portugal. It's forbidden by the constitution. It's forbidden by law. You have a right-wing party, populist right-wing party called Chega, but that has nothing to do with the extreme right. Okay, although they might have elements there of the extreme right, look, they are everywhere. Just like you have members of the extreme left in the left parties, okay? But what I'm trying to tell you is this. These type of people are the people that people like Mr. Trump, like Mr. Vance, fear. Because these are the kind of people that are going to look Mr. Trump in the eyes and tell him to fuck off. And that you're trying to bully me. No, I'm not going to buy your weapons. No, I'm not going to buy your products. No, I'm not going to help you in your little wars. So, fuck off. Okay? I'm working for the Hungarian people. I'm working with the European Union for Europe. Okay? So if you are either with us or you can fuck off to across the ocean. And I'm sorry that I'm swearing, but you know that stupidity is the only thing that really stupidity and lies are the only thing that really annoy me. And these morons that came here and did this shit, mark my words, they are going to pay this. I think the United States has forgotten that we have a lot of stock of the United States and a lot of bonds, in that we can freeze a lot of their industries, a lot of their manufacturers, that we can do a lot of things. And no one is doing that. You have to understand this. No one in Europe is actively trying to be hostile or damage the United States. We are just tolerating this shit. And of course, doing business elsewhere because it's bloody impossible to do any kind of trade agreements or agreements of any kind with the United States. Because each time your president gets up, goes into the bathroom, takes a pee, and sits on the crapper with his phone, he creates another crisis. I would suggest to the aides of Mr. Trump to take his phone or give him a phone with Snake or some kind of simple game for him to play, so that he can amuse himself in another way while he's in the bathroom. Okay, he, instead of making another post, social post on that saying that he created his version of Twitter. Okay, instead Truth Social. I always forget the name of that shit. Instead of inventing another wild transition and create a crash in the market and create an increase in oil and create more shit, instead of him doing that, at least he's there, he's playing his little snake game, and it's entertaining. Sorry. Now, and there I go, I started to rant, so going to end the rant. So my friends, all I have to tell you is this. I think we can trust in this guy. I think he will be very important for Hungary and the people. I think the Hungarians deserve to have a good prime minister. I think they deserve to be again a part of the European family. They never left, okay, but they had that lunatic in. He's not a lunatic. He's a corrupt. That corrupt in power, and I hope that this is a sign of good things to come. I hope this is the sign of a turning point here in Europe. And to tell you the truth, I think it is. I think we are going to look back at this moment and we are going to see it as another pivotal moment. Just like that first speech of Mrs. Ursula von der Leyen. You remember that we did a video about it also, about the safe mechanism and the rearming of Europe. I think this is another one of those moments. I think it will be important. Let's see. I have high hopes. I hope this guy doesn't disappoint me or the Hungarians, especially the Hungarians, because he's their prime minister. Okay, I'm just another European talking in a talking to you, okay, right here online, talking to a couple of people. Thankfully more people are watching my videos, and I would like to personally thank you all, each and every one of you, for watching my videos, for showing my videos to other people. And again, my friends, this is my opinion, okay? please go directly to the links of these videos. Go and watch the videos for yourselves. Go and watch other videos that Euronews has available. I like Euronews. I use them as the barometer for other news station, and let me tell you this: 99.9% of the times they are absolutely right. Okay, very dry, very cut to the business, you know, and it allows you to see like this. No, we just watched 3 videos, and we have an idea of who this person is, what he represents, where he comes from, and the reaction of the European Union. Okay, in just 3 simple videos, you saw how short they were. Okay, now, folks, thank you very much for watching this. Again, I'm going to try to give you more and more contents. I'm going to try to record as many videos as I can daily. You know, it's hard. I work all day, so sometimes I'm tired. Okay, sometimes I have other things to do, you understand, but I'm going to keep on trying, keep on trucking, like the Americans like to say. I don't know if it has to do with the cartoons of what was the name of that guy? I keep forgetting the name of Crumb. No, Robert Crumb. He's a really he's really lunatic, but I liked his craziness in his cartoons, and he had a character that said keep on trucking, you know, and that kept here on my noggin. Okay, folks, again, thank you all for listening to me. Thank you all for coming and give me your time. And the kitty is meowing. Okay, thank you, folks.